They say betrayal hurts the most when it comes from the people whose blood runs in your veins. But nobody tells you what to do when love, blood, and death all meet under one roof.
Franca learned this the hard way.
1 month to her wedding, one kiss, and her entire life collapsed like a house built on sand.
Franca had always believed her life was finally falling into place.
She lived in Lagos, worked a decent job, and was counting down to her wedding. Her fiancé, Fred, wasn't perfect, but she trusted him. And more than that, she trusted her sister. Frida wasn't just a sister, she was her baby, the one she defended in school fights, the one she fed from her own plate when food was scarce, the one she swore she would walk through fire for. That afternoon, Franca came home early. No warning, no suspicion, just love in her heart. Then she opened the door.
Fred's hands were on Frida's waist. Frida's lips were on Fred's mouth.
The room went silent.
Time froze.
He could have told me, Franca whispered as her knees gave way. But not Frida, not my sister. They tried to explain. She didn't listen. She couldn't. Her ears were ringing. Her heart was screaming. She didn't shout. She didn't slap anyone. She simply turned and walked away. By nightfall, the wedding was off. By morning, Franca had packed her life into one bag. She left Lagos, left her job, left her friends, left her mother, and even in her anger, she protected Frida. She told people nothing. She swallowed the shame alone.
Port Harcourt was not new to Franca. She once studied at the University of Port Harcourt, and she still had a few old friends. Only one mattered now: Sarima. When Franca arrived at the bus park, Sarima was already waiting. The moment she saw Franca's eyes, she didn't ask questions. She pulled her into a long, tight hug. The ride home was quiet. Every time Sarima tried to speak, Franca drifted away, staring through the window like someone who had lost her soul. Sarima herself was preparing for her own wedding, but she made space for 1 month.
1 month, Sarima said gently. You'll find a place. Franca nodded. But 1 month goes by faster when your heart is broken. After a week of sleeping, crying, and pretending to be okay, reality hit. Money was low, time was shorter.
Apartment hunting was brutal.
Then she found it. A four-bedroom duplex. Three ladies already living there.
One empty room.
The rent was shared, affordable, almost too good. She inspected the house. It was fine, clean, quiet.
She paid immediately. She moved in the next day.
She didn't meet anyone until evening. That was when Stacy, Ayo, and Aisha walked in.
Stacy took the lead immediately. Tall, sharp eyes, a smile that never reached her face.
She explained the rules.
Franca laughed lightly. Rules? We're all adults.
The glare Stacy gave her froze the air.
From that moment, Franca knew
This house was not normal. The next day, Franca got good news, a job offer.
she was resuming on Monday. Saturday evening, she came downstairs to inform the others. She met them sitting on the floor, eating,
There was a beautiful dining table beside them.
unused.
Why aren't we using the table? Franca asked. That's a rule, Ayo replied quickly. Franca frowned. I paid for everything here. I'll use it.
Stacy stood up slowly. Her face changed, darkened. Don't you dare!
Aisha rushed in quickly, her voice shaking.
Please, Stacy's mother was raped on a dining table when she was young. Eating on the floor makes her feel safe, loved.
Franca said nothing. She returned to her room, but something inside her shifted. Monday came. Work helped distract her. On her third day, she stayed late. While leaving, she bumped into her boss. Freedom. Dark, handsome, a smile that lived in his eyes. Why are you leaving so late? He asked. He offered to drop her home. She resisted. He insisted. From that night, something soft began to grow. Texts, calls, laughter. When he asked her out, she said yes. That Saturday, she dressed and waited. She had his car. Before she could step out, the car drove away. Later that evening, he called. Confusion turned to anger. He insisted they went out together. She swore she never left her house. The call ended bitterly. Monday came. Freedom avoided her, and whatever was growing between them died, or so she thought. One evening, Franca sat at the dining table eating peanuts. A scream cut through the house. How dare you! Stacy stood behind her. Franca snapped. This trauma is not my prison, she shouted. I'll sit where I want. Stacy leaned close and whispered, then be ready to face me. That night, Franca didn't sleep. Something sat on her chest. A smoke like figure, hands around her neck. She woke up drenched in sweat. Days later, Franca went to check on Freedom. At his door, Stacy answered, half naked. That night, Franca saw everything. The dining table, Freedom lying there, Stacy's face cracked like dry earth. She screamed. She woke up with a cut on her neck, and then she remembered. Aisha finally told the truth. Stacy led a cult. Ayo and Aisha were forced into it. They used the dining table as an altar. Freedom was their sacrifice. Franca's life was next. A package arrived from Freda. Communion. Holy oil. A warning. The next morning, Franca anointed herself. When she touched Stacy, Stacy screamed. The oil burned her. She vanished. Freedom woke up, alive. Franca returned to Lagos. She forgave her sister. Fred had lied. Months later, she met Freedom again. He proposed. She said yes. Moral lessons. Not every shared space is safe. Trauma untreated becomes a weapon. Silence can endanger lives. Forgiveness heals, but wisdom protects. Thank you for staying till this part. Please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. We really appreciate your encouragement.